Roadblocks are simply things that stand in the way of us getting to where we're supposed to be headed. Today I'm going to share with you 7 roadblocks that are holding agents back. You know, we're coming out of a time where the business was easy. There was a lot of things that we could do that simply would just take our business to a much higher level. It was just easy almost. Today, what I want to do is I want to go through, because the market has definitely changed. The understanding of what it takes to have success in this market is a little different than it was in the past. So what I want to do is I want to focus in on some of the struggles, some of the roadblocks, some of the things that may be holding you back from having the business of your dreams. So coming out of this market that we've been in, one of the things that we're seeing is that there is a prospecting atrophy. Now, if you're wondering what does the word atrophy mean, it basically means the lack of use of something, typically in our body, that leads to the inability to use it at a high level again. So what are we doing right now prospecting wise? You see, when we came out of the last market, prospecting really was just simply being out there. Every single person and most people we knew were looking to continuously buy real estate. That's not the case now. So what is it that we're doing to understand in a normalized market that we should be doing to be out there prospecting? So what is it that you're doing? Let's get back to some basics here. Time blocking your schedule so that you make sure you have some time every single day that you're making outbound calls, checking in with those folks that are potentially ready to buy or sell real estate. What is it that you're doing to prospect and add people to your database through open houses, through making those outbound calls, through door knocking, through doing social media? What is it that you're doing on a consistent basis to make sure that you're not just sitting there waiting for something to happen, but you're out there actually making it happen? You see, if we're going to be everything that our business should be, we're going to have to get focused in on, again, prospecting in a way that drives business and brings it to us and gives us the opportunity to move forward. All right, we started with prospecting atrophy. In other words, we needed to be prospecting more, but who is it that we're going to be prospecting? This is the problem is, sometimes what we do, and this leads us to number 2, is that we think more leads is the answer. It's not always more leads. It's going deeper with the existing people you have in your sphere of influence and the people that you already know, like and trust you. What are you doing to deepen those relationships? Because by deepening those relationships, typically they will take your business wider through referrals, through additional business. I would encourage you, sometimes we have to ask, like Heidi Harris does, that I'm going to just make a decision. I'm going to go in and I'm going to decide I'm not going to just buy leads. I'm going to buy lunch. I'm going to spend more time with the people that I already have that understand who I am and the direction I'm headed. Who is it that you already have in your life that you can spend more time with, that you can deepen those relationships? When you focus in on the people you already have in your life, everything else takes care of itself. Third struggle I see people having right now is they're waiting for things to happen instead of going out and making them happen. The business that we're coming out of, the time frame we were in over the last few years, really was a time where literally if you just happened to be out and you just mentioned you were in real estate, someone would ask you, well, could you help me with this? Or buyers were willing to do whatever it took to be able to buy. Sellers, once they put it on the market, they were going to get multiple offers and they were going to have this frenzy that was going to give you the results you were looking for them. It's not the case today. What is it that you're doing to understand that if this business is going to move forward, it's not going to just happen by chance. It's going to be purposeful. It's going to be you sitting down and talking like we were talking about, where you have a regimented schedule, where you have a certain amount of time that you're outbound calls and you're making prospecting calls. It's going to be a thing where you have specific written goals. It's going to be a thing where you're wanting to see where you want to be in the future and you're backfilling the activities on a daily basis to make sure that you get there. What is it that you're doing to make it happen instead of waiting for it to happen? You see, when you get focused in on the things that are most important, focusing in on the daily activities that you need to do, everything else starts falling into place. You begin to build momentum. When we get momentum, I promise you're going to see this business continue to grow. Fourth thing I see agents struggle with right now is they forget what got them here. Now, I'm going to speak personally to this, and I'm going to go back a number of years to coming out of the last boom in the 2003 to 2006 timeframe that we saw in our local real estate market. And then following that, not something we're going to see this time, not at that level, but I saw that decline. Here's what happened is when things were so good, I lost focus on the things that got my original momentum going. You see, for me, what I focused in on was I focused in on finding and identifying the issues or the problems or the things that people that were my ideal client needed and providing that to them. As the business got better, all of a sudden, somewhere along the lines, I lost that focus and I began to figure out and think about the things that were important to me instead of on the client. You see, what is it that you did when you began in this business and you first got momentum? Was it that you were making more outbound calls? Was it that you were doing more prospecting? Were you doing more video? Were you on social media more? Were you spending more time with the people that were in your sphere of influence? Go back to basics. Think back and go back to that last place. Where I grew up, we used to talk about the fact that if you lose your way, the first thing you should do is go back to the last place where you knew where you were headed. What was the last place where you had momentum? What were you doing on a daily basis? If you've kept a daily schedule of the activities you were doing, go back and look at your schedule when you first got in this business, or maybe a few years ago when you were at a place where your business was stalled and you took it to the next level. The same activities that got your momentum going in the past, the same things that you did in the past that began to build this business in a way that got some momentum for you, those are the same things that will work for you now. Refocus yourself back on the things. Go back and take a look back, and then use these things in the past to move you into the future. The fifth struggle I see right now is that as the market has changed, we've seen new technology. People are struggling and they're unsure about artificial intelligence. There has never been anything come into this business that I've seen that has the ability to create more efficiencies, give you the ability to be in front of more of your ideal prospects than artificial intelligence, ChatGPT specifically. Here's the thing. Let me tell you what AI is not. AI is not going to be something that will replace the professional agents that are in our marketplace. It's not going to replace those folks that have a business built on relationships. But I do believe this. Artificial intelligence, ChatGPT specifically, does have the ability in the future that those that use this and use it effectively will probably replace those that don't. So what are we going to do right now to get over maybe your fear or your apprehension with utilizing this? Begin to get started. Listen, there's a number of videos on this. As a matter of fact, you're going to see an interview above that I did with Andy Beal where we're talking about 5 things that are working right now. This is the opportunity for you to lean in to what's new. It's only been since November of 2022 since this originally came out. This is still at the beginning stages. You still have time to embrace it. Not only embrace it, but just get in there and try a few things and find ways that you can utilize it to serve your clients in a better way. Lean into AI right now, and I promise it's going to pay benefits, not just now, but into the future. The sixth struggle I see right now is that agents are not focusing on revenue generating activities. You know, when we get to a place where we're not sure what to do, it's been a little while, but now we're in the office, and if you aren't prepared when you come into the office with a specific plan of action every day, you can just drift. You can get caught into the email funnel of just answering emails all day or just putting out fires. See, what are the things that generate the most revenue in your business? I want to encourage you, go back and look at your past transactions. Where did those things come from? Open houses, that's a great revenue generating activity. While you're there, even if you only have one person come into your open house, which probably you won't at this time, you're going to have an opportunity to be away from the office, focused in, utilizing the internet capabilities that we have today to do your business wherever you are. But you're in the water and have the ability to catch those prospects. What is it that you do that is best serving you and your business? Making outbound phone calls. I'm going to keep saying it. What is it that you're doing? Is video content something that you know is going to generate revenue for you? Whatever those activities are that have generated results for you in the past, or that you know that if I do this, I'm going to have an ROI. Unsolicited video CMAs, whatever it is, make sure you're out there doing those activities on a regular basis and that is your focus. Instead of being reactive, you're being proactive, and that's going to be the things that lead to the momentum we're looking for. Last but not least is that I see a lot of agents waiting for things to get better. Let me say this. One thing about life in general is that change is inevitable. Yes, things will change. They could change for the worse. They could change for the better. But the difference is that we can't sit around and wait for things to be ideal, because if we do, things are never going to happen. You're going to sit there and be frozen. Here's what typically happens when things happen. This is our natural human instinct. When things change or there's something that we're concerned about, one of 3 things happens. We either freeze, which is what most agents are doing right now. They just stop. They're not sure what to do, so they don't do anything. They either flee, they either get out of the business, or they run away from whatever this distraction is, or they get focused in and they take action and they fight. What is it that you're going to do? Are you going to stand up and fight for this business? Are you going to a place where you understand that yes, this may not be as easy as it was, but it's going to be worth it? Do you understand that there's a lot of people that will be fleeing this business, and so by just simply staying in this business, staying focused, fighting for the clients and for your ideal clients, you're going to have the opportunity to have less competition in the future and more opportunity as this market continues to get better and better and better into the future. You see, when you focus in on taking action, especially when others are coasting, that's when we see the biggest gains in our business. Now is the time for you to lean in like never before, to add more value than you've ever done, become the best agent you've ever been, and to ultimately become the person that your clients deserve for you to be as a professional. And I promise you're going to see the results you're looking for. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.